Sound check, just your full name and title, just for the audio as well, that's right. So.
Sure, good afternoon, Detective Inspector Nick Pritchard.
But taller than our standard. We're happy? Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. Following a post-mortem examination, police can confirm the death of a man in Northland, Wellington is being treated as a homicide. The victim, 65-year-old Simon Bird, who lived at the Marley Road property where his body was found on Tuesday morning. Mr. Bird had not been heard from for several days, prompting a concerned friend to carry out a welfare check, leading to the discovery of his body. We have established Mr. Bird was last seen alive on the 27th of March, around 5 p.m. in the afternoon. However, we are continuing to piece together his movements and the events that led to his death. A scene examination is ongoing at the property and is expected to continue for the next couple of days. Mr. Bird's silver Honda Odyssey has been recovered from the address by police and will be forensically examined. Police are going to have an ongoing presence in the Northland community over the coming days. I urge anyone with information that could help our investigation to contact us as soon as possible. We also want to speak to anybody who knew Mr. Bird, as well as those who saw him or his vehicle in the last week. This includes any CCTV or dash cam footage you may have of him or his vehicle. As part of the investigation, we also want to hear from anybody in the Northland area who noticed any suspicious activity or movements in and around Mr. Bird's address on Marley Road. What might seem like an insignificant detail to you could be a missing piece of the jigsaw puzzle for us. If you have any information that could assist police, please contact us on 105. It's 105. You can also provide information anonymously through Crime Stoppers, and please refer to Operation North. I can now answer any questions.
Given the length of time that's passed between Mr. Bird being seen and then discovered, do you have any indication of when he may have died?
At this stage, we're still piecing together as much information as we can in relation to his movements. So, as part of the appeal today, we'd really want to hear from anybody who interacted with him over the last few weeks, so we can try and piece together what may have happened to him or who he was with around that time.
What did the post-mortem show in terms of cause of death?
I won't go into those details at this early stage of the investigation.
Do you have any information about persons or people being sought?
We're keeping an open mind and really want to hear from anybody who knew him. We don't know a lot about Mr. Bird, and so it's really important for us to hear from anybody who knew him, particularly those that interacted with him over the last few weeks.
What do you have to say to people in Northland and the Wellington community as a whole? We have, several two murder investigations currently underway, where people haven't yet been charged. Can you assure people that they are safe?
I can reassure the people of Wellington that these serious incidents are not related, and we have investigation teams working long hours, working really hard to try and find the answers that we need in all of these matters.
Just back on Northland, you said he was last seen alive on March 27. Where was that?
He was last seen around 5 p.m. that evening in Wellington City.
Anywhere in particular?
Within the central city environs.
Right. And did he go home after that? Do you know?
That's the focus of the investigation team, trying to piece together his movements from that time when he finished work in the central city through until the discovery of his body on the Tuesday this week.
Yeah, so he was discovered on Tuesday morning. Is there anything you can tell us as to how long police suspect he had been dead for?
We're still trying to establish that information, and that's why it's really important we get an understanding about his pattern of life, who he associated with, who he spent time with, and things of that nature.
And just kind of following up on the question about the recent crime in the Wellington region as of late, how have police handled that?
Well, we've got sizable investigation teams on each one working through the inquiries. We have some additional resource from out of our district, and that's not unusual. From time to time, in any district, there can be a cluster of a serious crime, and it's not linked to an uplift in crime or a particular trend, but having additional support allows the staff to refresh themselves and take breaks when required, and also allows us to continue maintaining our other serious crime commitments, such as child abuse and other serious matters that we need to maintain policing functions for.
Given the events of the last month, how stretched are police resources? Are other incidents going by the wayside because of the workload?
Well, Wellington District's a big policing district. We've got over 1,000 staff, so we prioritise our investigations and we prioritise our staffing to ensure that we are maintaining the right levels of investigative oversight across all the crime types.
The extra 15 staff that were brought in, as mentioned by Corey Parnell, how long are they likely to be in the region, in the area?
There isn't a time limit at this stage, but we do regularly review our resourcing levels on each of our investigations to ensure that we've got the balance right.
Can you tell us where Mr. Bird was found on the property, please?
I'm not going to go into that specific detail other than the fact that he was found on his property.
You mentioned his car. Could I ask you to tell us a bit more about why that was recovered from the scene and whether the car itself is considered a potential crime scene?
At this stage, the vehicle is yet to undergo a forensic examination. It will do, and in terms of how that may fit into the homicide investigation, that's still to be established.
We understand that the car was somewhat erratically parked near the scene. Is there any indication that Mr. Bird may have been injured or hurt within the vehicle?
I can't comment on that at this stage, sorry.
Do you know when the car was last used? Was it when he came into the city on the 27th?
Well, that's information that we really want to hear from anyone about, anybody who knew Mr. Bird, associated with him, that might be able to provide us information about him, his movements and his vehicle.
What assurances can you offer people in the neighbourhood? I understand, there's a kindy and a childcare facility quite close to the scene. What can you say to people who are, worried about safety in the neighbourhood?
There will be a large police presence in Northland over the coming days. Police officers are going door to door, talking to all of the residents in the area. The scene examination will continue over the coming days, so there will be a strong presence in the area, and we are carrying out reassurance patrols as well.
Over the last few weeks, there's been 4 deaths linked to 3 separate incidents. One of them was a suspected murder-suicide, and we've got the 2 homicide investigations. But for people of Wellington watching this, what would you say to them in terms of any reassurance that you can offer them?
In terms of reassurance, we have well-staffed investigation teams that are working really hard to establish what happened in these cases and establish a positive outcome for everybody in the community.
We'll do last question.
In terms of what's been going on in Miramar, police recently revised their position and confirmed that they believe the home invasion and the homicide in Miramar earlier in the previous month were linked. Can you talk about what grounds that link has been drawn?
There was an update put out last night in relation to that matter. I won't go into any further detail on the Miramar case today. I'll leave that for another day because I just want to focus on Operation North today and really ask for people to come forward who knew Mr. Bird, anyone at all that's had any interaction with him over the last few weeks that can provide us with any information that will assist the investigation.
Is there anything else you can tell us about, Mr. Bird? What sort of person was he? Like, which groups did he associate with?
From what we've established so far, he was a a fairly private person, and we don't know a lot about Mr. Bird, and that's part of the appeal today, is to actually get people to come forward so we can understand a lot more about him, his hobbies, who he was socialising with and associating with, and things like that.
Was he involved in the Wairarapa racing community at all?
I can't comment on that at this stage.
And just any message for his family, or have you spoken to his family?
Yes, police have been engaging with his family, and our thoughts and condolences go out to them for their loss.
Thanks, Dane.
Thank you.